Hey friends, how are you? I'm so excited. Massive major breakthroughs tonight, and I don't even care that I'm being politically suppressed by the YouTube. I'm speechless. I'm trying to keep my brain and my thoughts and everything together. I have a lot of things to show you, but I think I have insight into why they're having that urgent meeting tomorrow with the Inspector General and the State Department. And I think I understand why Mitch and Chuck Grassley did an about face this week, and why Rebecca Mercer suddenly did an about face in my reading, like she's a totally different person now, right? In that last reading that I did, I think it was Putin, GMBS, Mercer for the Libra new moon. This is huge. Where do I start? I'm going to start with Chris Vickery, our friend Chris Vickery. I know I've talked about him in the past, here and there for you guys, because in August, I think I had shared, I know I posted in the discussion, I think I talked about it in a reading, but that Chris Vickery was totally blowing my mind because he is a data breach hunter. He's the one that was looking through code and found that Nation Builder is a campaign operative software that they use for their voter information, their voter data. The guy's name behind Nation Builder is Jim Johnson. I believe that's his name. His last name is Johnson. But he has worked with Newt Gingrich. He has worked with Mitch McConnell. He's worked with Bernie. He has worked with, I can't remember who else. But anyway, so he's worked with a lot of these people. And what Chris Vickery discovered was that even though the way they were handling their own legally obtained voter data from their own information, that their email services, I believe it was email, was being hosted on servers in Russia. Because Chris Vickery was researching something else, but then found like a bunch of ads and old files that all of a sudden he saw the name of the address, which was just red flags, discovered all of that is stored in Russia. So, I mean, think about Mitch, everyone that he works with for campaigning for the Republicans, if his emails, I mean, here we are, but her emails Hillary with a private server in her home, and these a-holes are using servers in Russia? Ugh. But anyway, the Russian servers, they cannot be subpoenaed, and they are not subject to a court-ordered FISA warrant for, to be able to acquire them or eavesdrop. They're totally immune from that. So this was in August. Chris Vickery discovered that. And so there's an article today, October 1st, in the New Yorker, all about him, the Wild West of online political operatives, October 1st by Sue Halpern. And she goes on, she's talking about how Chris Vickery, in August, the cybersecurity firm UpGuard, he was browsing GitHub, an open source software repository for references to Cambridge Analytica. Cambridge Analytica, who is that? Rebecca freaking Fivehead Easter Island Mercer. Because Aggregate IQ was a spinoff, AIQ was a spinoff of Cambridge Analytica, and what they found with Brexit is that Cambridge Analytica and Aggregate IQ, one of them represented Leave UK, the other one represented Remain in the UK. they seem to be of different campaigns, platforms, but they weren't. They were the same thing, playing both sides. Here we go, horseshoe theory, playing both sides. But then, I know I saw it. I don't know where I saw it, but it was a leaked contract where they were using the same database for AIQ and Cambridge Analytica, because that was like their test before the 2016 election to see how they played the data and how it would work and how to use it, like as a final dress rehearsal going into 2016. So he was looking for information in this repository for information relating to Cambridge Analytica and AIQ, but instead he found all these ads, which led him to one place to another, and now we are dealing with Jim Robinson, and how they are storing things on Russian servers. I hope that makes sense. So that's in the New Yorker from today. Yay me, I found that tweet earlier to share with you guys. We're so on the leading edge. So that happened. Now, Cambridge Analytica aggregate IQ, what just totally blew our minds the past 24 hours when I did the Libra new moon reading, and I had to do Donald and the 6-1's mob and Putin, and who's the other person who's always hanging around causing problems and interference? It's Rebecca, 5-head. Well, remember, I did her thing, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, it looked like she flipped. She was a totally different person, and everyone that's been commenting on it has been saying the same thing. No way, she's flipped. I think indeed she might have, because that article came out today. What happened yesterday? Mitch McConnell said we could vote on, the Senate would vote on impeachment. Chuck Grassley is defending the whistleblower. Rebecca Mercer tonight, because I was looking at the reasons why they're having that urgent meeting tomorrow through the Inspector General at the State Department, wanting to meet with the heads of the committees. She was showing up all over the place. And she was showing up all over the place for all the reasons we can't stand her or the Alabama senator or ambassador, because they're stealing stuff and data and taking our money from the United States and converting it to cryptocurrency. That is what's all over, at least for me, for this emergency meeting. And not only is she all over it, you know who is getting pinned and tied to what's going on? Is the freaking world card. Coke. Though I don't even know which Coke is alive. One of them died. But the Coke keeps coming back to everything. Like the plans, because there are some heavy duty plans to get this whistleblower. That is why Melania is in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, by the way, and I will post that one tomorrow. I've had it kind of lingering today because my stats have been so wonky, but now I just don't even care, a-holes at YT. But, so this is all going back to the Coke. And Mercer is tattling on him. And I can't tell you how much she is freaking out in my spreads about what's happening. Like, she's like discovering something too. Like, I get the sense that she's been on the perimeter doing stuff, but didn't have the whole picture of what was going on. They were just kind of using her to like get this stuff done because she's the data person. She is freaking out. And another thing is, she somehow is tied to the whistleblower. And I'm getting more whistleblowers coming out tonight. So I need to show you some of the cards here. So the Page of Cups, we know this is the whistleblower related to Ukraine and what's going on there. The Page of Swords, this is the whistleblower. Is there a whistleblower announced yet related to Trump's taxes? This is why SDNY today, in my opinion, joined the Department of Justice in their request to block Donald's tax returns. And I think it's because there's a whistleblower who is in dire trouble as well, because both Putin and MBS have their hired mafia expert kill people who are out trolling and trawling the streets trying to find these people. It's kind of scary in that regard. This Page of Wands, when I say news from Russia, it's actually news that comes through Coke with Russia. Like Coke, I am surprised at how close this guy is to Russia. So those are the cards you need to know. The other discovery I had tonight, so we have the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Wands for burdens that often come up. This one is Donald's burdens with Putin, because Putin rigged the election for Donald, and he will always hold that over Donald's head, and he expects to be paid back, and now he's sanctioned. So this, whenever this comes up, this has to do with Donald's burdens to Putin in the 2016 election. The 9 of Wands, this has to do with Donald's tax returns and the whistleblower coming out of the tax returns. And the reason why the tax returns are being blocked is because it also implicates Junior. It implicates the Saudis beyond Putin, and it implicates the Republican Party, because everything was being transacted through Donald. So it implicates the entire Republican Party. Let's see, is there anything else I want to see here? Oh, nostalgia, 6 of Cups. You know what this is? These are Donald's tax returns. I am blown away. 6 of Cups, nostalgia. It isn't about children. It's about the documentation that goes like back this far and this long. Think the 6 of Cups is a sun in Scorpio. Scorpio rules the 8th house. The 8th house has to do with other people's money. Life, death, transformation, taxes, inheritances, bribes, money laundering, converting, transforming money from one currency to another to crypto. So right now, the moon is, okay, here. Remember I said we were sitting on the most explosive part of the January 21st eclipse, because Uranus was at 28 degrees Aries, sitting right at the bottom of the chart. And we are in eclipse click dates for, let's just say this whole month. So the moon was in Scorpio. It's about 27 degrees, 28 degrees Scorpio right now. So it's moved into the 11th house. And in the 11th house, and we are going to have the meeting, the IC meeting today, while the moon is in this 11th house. So what did Donald pick? We have the Knight of Cups. That's Donald making offers. Putin has the King of Swords. That is Bill Barr. Now, Bill Barr is always changing hats. And 6 Wands Mom picked the 3 of Cups, the celebration from the 2016 election. And Mercer, she has the 7 of Swords, stealing stuff but reversed, meaning she's making reparations. And we're like, huh? Pelosi here, they're having that meeting. The sun is there with revelation. USA has the hanged man, like, oh crap, we have a new perspective. What's going on here? And our allies, the Ace of Pentacles, new money. This is huge, huge. So today when I was throwing on that IG meeting, I kept getting Rebecca Mercer. So let's just find out. What am I doing on time? Let's just find out what's going on there. So Inspector General, oh my gosh. Remember when I did the marathon clarifier for Speaker Pelosi last September with the September Terrascope, and I used almost every card in the deck? Happened again tonight, except I was asking, oh my God, the Inspector General crowning the Eight of Swords. You know, the blindfolded woman with the swords, and we determined that, I think a couple readings ago, the Eight of Swords actually has to do with that brute force of threatening, you know, like an IG or a whistleblower. It's kind of like the mafia move. If you do anything, these are the threats. We're going to kill your family. We're going to ruin you. Blah, blah, blah. They terrorize them. So the Inspector General had the Eight of Swords crowning them when I did this this reading on why they're requesting me. Oh, and card of the reading, the Six of Cups, Donald's tax returns. So anyway, crowning, Eight of Swords. Look at all these cards I went through. It told the whole I can't wait to write this story out. And see what you did, YouTube silly you. Suppressing my speech. And now you're going to force me to write a book. Because you know what happened the last time someone suppressed my political speech? They took my ballot in 2016. I wasn't given a ballot when the machine dialed in because you had all my data and I was flagged. And so then came this channel. And so now I'm going to have to write a book. But I digress. Yeah, the Inspector General is getting death threats. And I'm so glad that they're having this meeting tomorrow. This Coke bro, he is such an... Ugh. Oh, yeah, and then so when the Southern District, New York, why did you join in? It's because there's at least 2 whistleblowers about this. So that's why they joined in, was to protect them. So, Inspector General, let's chat again. Why are we having this urgent meeting tomorrow? Why are you having this urgent meeting tomorrow? Why are you having this urgent meeting tomorrow? Oh, the Page of Pentacles. Because this could be Junior, but Junior is implicated in the tax returns. And Mercer has been working with Junior and like kind of being protective of him lately. It could be Junior, it could be Jared. But I think it's Junior. Is covered in death and change. Because what's the challenge? The White House. This is what the Inspector General has with data sheets. So because they probably have intercepts of communications abroad. Oh, I wonder if he's getting death threats. Because what's crowning them are the oligarchs from Russia. Because in the past, Junior was having a tower moment. And what was to come was this is Putin. This is Putin's op to grind down the government, slow it down, and then leverage what he wants from the government. So there's like major judgment. This is how we see the Inspector General. And this is how serious it is. The environment has to do with the 6 Wands mob. The hope is that they can get, this is Attorney General William Barr, ever since he went rogue. The fear, look at, this is what the Inspector General is fearing. That's what was crowning them last time. They are afraid for their lives. So ideally or likely what's to come from this is, oh, a new perspective. USA, new perspective. What's to come? Ha ha ha. This is Attorney General William Barr hunting down whistleblowers. So the Inspector General is, because it sounds like Junior is in quite a bit of trouble because he flipped a while ago. Agbar is looking for whistleblowers because they have an op in place. That's why Melania went to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So, tell me, Rebecca, why is the Inspector General calling a meeting for tomorrow, Rebecca, and what did you have to do with it? Because of Emperor Donald. He was made emperor, and he's covered in change. Oh, isn't that interesting? Jared was covered in that as well. I wonder if Russia is threatening now Donald and Jared because of the sanctions, threatening their lives. The challenge, Rebecca says, is because of making the agencies destitute. Oh, really? How's that? Because they're under investigation. Who's under? Rebecca's saying, I am under investigation related to this stuff. Because what's crowning it is Junior. See, I told you she had a... Because in the past, Seven of Cups, gaslighting, lies, and to come in the future is the op. Now this is I think this is the Ace of Swords op. Who had this? Ace of Swords is that Barr? Ace of Swords, I've been seeing that all over the place. No, that's with Melania. Yeah, so the Ace of Swords is Melania in Jackson Hole, what was to come. Ooh, are they getting busted by the intel agencies? This is how we see Rebecca. Look at all these receipts I have. Look at all this data. I have so much information here as to why they're meeting, because of the outrage and the lies and the deceit. What do you hope happens from this meeting? She hopes she can retreat. She hopes she made her reparations. Nah. What's your fear, Rebecca? This is Jared. Okay, so this is Jared. This is Junior. And one of these two ratted on the other. I can't remember who. Ideally likely to come. This is Bill Barr. And what's going to come tomorrow? The government. Yes, the government is listening. Rebecca, you're being very shy right now. I wanted some more from you. Who else can I ask? Let's ask the Coke Bro. Hey, Coke Bro. Coke Bro. Coke Bro. Coke Bro. Do you know why they're having this meeting tomorrow? What do you know from the Inspector General, Coke? What do you know about the taxes or Trump Russia or what's going on with the State Department? Because you are right in the middle of it. What's going on here, Coke Bro? And I'm just being so nice to him. I could just call him cock, right? And just one cock, because the other one has died. But no, call him a coke bro. Oh. There's an op. Really? Related to what? What's covered? The devil. Yes. That would be Putin, Attorney General William Barr, all you yahoos together on how they made Donald emperor. And at the base of this is how they stole money from our agencies, leaving them destitute. They can't do their jobs, and crowning this is all the data that gets converted. In the past, this is your treason, coke bro. Oh, you were in on the 2016 buying of the election. That is what we are going to find out. How do we see you? Coke bro is Russian, a pregnant Russian. The environment is, Page of Pentacles. There you go. Junior. So Junior went and told somebody. The hope, coke bro, is to get to Nancy. Fears, the news coming out of Russia, even though this card is so tied to the coke when it comes to Russia. I think he's the one that does the delivering of news from Putin. Ideally likely, it's the end of the coke. The coke is coming forward. I can't believe he's implicating himself, or maybe he just doesn't know because he doesn't know tarot cards ask him. Oh, and what's to come? The tax returns. The tax returns. I wonder if the State Department got the tax returns or communications abroad, because remember I said our allies have been helping. Oh, I wonder if there's tax returns abroad that they've been able to acquire that show loans to Donald Trump, or Donald having some transactions, whether it was, oligarchs in the UK, Australia, I don't think Russia, maybe in Ukraine. Wow. So State Department, 6 of Cups, 6, Donald's tax returns. What do you have on Donald's tax returns, State Department? What do you have on Donald's tax returns, State Department? What do you have on Donald's tax returns, State Department? What do you have on Donald's tax returns, State? The State Department has treason from his tax returns. The State Department has something with tax returns covered in the Republican Party. Question was, what do you have on Donald's tax return, State Department? This says treason, which means they have something. The challenge is having the secret talks to be able to report it. The base of this is, it's so emotional. What else? And it's covered in the Justice Department. What they have on Donald's tax returns showed treason, and the Justice Department sitting on it. It's in the State Department was threatened. The people in the State Department were threatened. This is the Inspector General. What's to come? The Coke Bro. Coke is in on this. So what do you have on the tax? How do we see the state? What they have, the State Department has on Donald's tax returns, it's seen as the White House. Oh my gosh. Screaming in my head, paying for the White House. They paid to win the election. Because the environment is, here we go, Junior again. Junior's tax returns. Junior's tax returns. Did someone not just say that someone has their tax returns? The hope with what they have in the tax returns affects the entire Trump dynasty. The fear is the United States of America. Yes, it is their fear, the tax returns, the fear is the United States of America, because we know the treason. And what's to come? Pelosi and the courts. What's to come? Oh, we're going to get the tax returns. The oligarchs. There are other wealthy people who have tax returns that implicate them and them. Okay, I am just a genius. High five, high five, high five, high five. Yay. Wow. You guys, that was awesome. And now we're just going to sleep so well because we know what happens. Except you, YouTube. Everybody could be sleeping well tonight, but no, someone has to be in an algorithm jail hellhole. Do I care? Niet. Is that language you know, YouTube? Niet, because we're just going to have to figure out another way. Okay, thanks you guys. Have a brilliant, wonderful October 2 with the moon in Sagittarius and the 11th house of hopes, wishes, dreams, aspirations. We got this. They're so screwed. Yes. Okay, thanks you guys.